Hello and welcome to the Guides.Global guide to buying a property on the Costa del Sol. My name is John Howell. I'm the editorial director of Guides.Global, and with me today I have Miguel Manzanares from the law firm Manzanares International. Miguel is one of the authors of our guide to buying property in Spain. So Miguel, welcome.
Thank you very much. Welcome.
Before we start the topic in detail, let's just deal with a couple of things. First of all, you are a lawyer practicing in Spain?
Yes, I'm a lawyer. I'm registered at our law society in Malaga.
And you're the senior partner here?
I'm the senior partner, and also I am the founding partner of Manzanares.
And I won't embarrass you by asking you how many years you've been practicing law for, but Manzanares has been going for over 20 years.
Exactly, over 20 years.
And you are based in the Costa del Sol. You have offices in various places in the Costa del Sol, but also have a presence in other countries.
Exactly. We have two offices in Costa del Sol. I'm based in Marbella. This is where I spend most of my time, although I also visit my other office in Costa del Sol and sometimes other countries too.
Yes. So, buying a property in Spain has been a hugely important part of the Spanish economy for decades now, and shows every sign of continuing.
Yeah, exactly. It's really strong. Buying a property in Spain, this part of Spain, which is Costa del Sol, has been really a classic for a big number of years. Yes. for many countries.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the range of countries gets wider and wider, because now you're seeing people from China coming in. The Russians came in a few years ago. The British have always been here. Scandinavians, Irish, Dutch. It's an extraordinary combination.
Exactly. So we can see actually in the last years an evolution about the number of countries and diversity of different nationalities present in Costa del Sol, not just as tourists, but also like owners of properties.
Yes.
So in this sense, the diversity is much wider.
Now, talking of diversity, we've called this video Guide to Buying Property in the Costa del Sol rather than Spain. Just need to deal quickly with why it is that the law in the Costa del Sol and the practice in the Costa del Sol is different from what it is in other parts of the country. So would you just like to sort of touch on that, explain it?
Well, first reason I would say that this is because Costa del Sol is part of autonomous community, which is equivalent to an state of Andalucia. The state governments have the authority of creating legislation about certain points of importance when buying a property. For instance, the transfer tax, which in some countries is called stamp duty, is regulated by the state government. So therefore, the type of taxes that you pay when buying a property in Andalusia is different than when you buy a property in Galicia or in Catalonia or in Valencia. So this is why it's specific to this, mainly at the point of taxation when buying the properties. But also the property law is, we have as well the general master planning of every municipality. So therefore, even within Costa del Sol, the municipality of Marbella has a master planning completely different than the one in Estepona or in Malaga city, for instance.
So the Constitution of Spain then says that Spain is a country, but this is a country that has lots of regions which are effectively self-governing in certain respects, and one of those is in relation to things that affect property.
Correct.
So if people want to know more about that, we have a separate little video explaining in more detail the ways in which the system changes from one place to another. Another thing, of course, that differs from place to place is the individual's concern. So although the law about a particular topic may be very similar, each judge, each land registrar, each notary may have a different way of doing things, just slightly different, a different way of interpreting things, so that you really need to know your local notaries and your local land registrars in order to have a smooth transaction in places like the Costa del Sol.
Absolutely. This is happening not just in Costa del Sol. I would say that within the whole Spanish territory, every land registry has a different vision of interpreting certain parts of the law. It's not really cannot really be very different, but the way that you have to draft title deeds and the purchase, if you have to register in the land registry number 1 of Marbella, it could be slightly different than the land registry number 4 of Marbella, because you know that that land register likes to set up the charge expressing very clear one point and not the other. The other one likes to have an annex of a document. So this is really why specialization and local knowledge becomes so important.
And local knowledge, it just makes the whole transaction easier, and in general terms, easier means cheaper.
Exactly. So the local knowledge will be the difference in between having a much longer process and full of problems and issues to overcome, or a very smooth, straightforward.
Now, in this video,